Hello and welcome viewers. You're watching Committee Report with your host Kriti Mishra, and today we'll take a closer look at the report of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Home Affairs on the Northeast. The Northeastern region comprises of 8 states, namely Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Sikkim and Tripura, with a total area of almost 8% of India. The region shares international borders with several neighbouring countries like Nepal, Bhutan, China, Myanmar and Bangladesh. This region is characterized by its rich biodiversity and heavy precipitation and has immense potential for development. As per census of 2011, the population of the region is about 4.5 crore, constituting 3.78% of the total population of India. Before the analysis, let's take a look at this report. The committee notes that all the schemes of the ministry have been approved up to the limit of 2025 and 26 and feels that the additional time of 3 years available with the Ministry of Donor may be enough to plan and execute its schemes. The committee hopes that funds under the schemes can now be spent with proper planning and recommends that the ministry prepare a roadmap in consultation with the stakeholders for the time-bound implementation of schemes considering the budgetary allocation available.
बैंकर्स के साथ मीटिंग हुआ है, आईडीबी बैंक के साथ मीटिंग हुआ है, जयका के साथ भी मीटिंग किया है। वो लोग भी ऐसे प्रोजेक्ट्स भी फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस देने के लिए निर्णय किया है। वैसे ही हम 100 प्लेसेस टूरिज्म व्यू पॉइंट्स टूरिज्म मिनिस्ट्रीज और डोनर मिनिस्ट्री के द्वारा हम बनाने के लिए प्रयास किया है। अभी 26 जगह 100 व्यू पॉइंट्स में 26 जगह व्यू पॉइंट्स का निर्माण शुरुआत हुआ है। अभी इस महीने के अंदर अभी मोर 25 जगह टूरिस्ट व्यू पॉइंट्स निर्माण होगा। हम लगातार उस विषय पर टूरिस्ट मिनिस्टर से, चीफ मिनिस्टर से, चीफ सेक्रेटरी से बातचीत कर रहा हूँ। टूरिस्ट डेस्टिनेशन पे सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट में भी कुछ इन्वेस्टमेंट करना और उसके साथ साथ उसका एक लैंड प्रॉब्लम है। लैंड होल्डिंग बहुत बड़ा इश्यू है नॉर्थ ईस्ट में। टाइटल कुछ गांव के लोगों के पास रहते हैं, गवर्नमेंट के पास नहीं रहती हैं और थर्ड पर्सन आउटसाइडर कैन नॉट परचेस लैंड नॉर्थ ईस्ट में। इस विषय पर थोड़ा स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के साथ चर्चा कर रहे हैं, उसका समस्या कैसा हल कर सकते हैं। कोई होटल बनाना है तो लैंड चाहिए, कोई टूरिस्ट डेस्टिनेशन में रिसॉर्ट्स बनाना है तो चाहिए, कोई ऐसी इसके लिए लैंड विषय पर भी चर्चा कर रहे हैं। मेरे ख्याल से नॉर्थ ईस्ट का भी एक इन्वेस्टमेंट समिट हम पूरा तय किया है इन्वेस्ट इंडिया के साथ मिलकर, वो भी काम चल रहा है।
The committee further notes that the road sector schemes under non-lapsable Central Pool of Resources, Hill Area Development Program and Northeast Road Sector Development Scheme have been merged under one head of the Northeast Special Infrastructure Development Scheme. This will allow the ministry to use the allocated amount of 2,491 crore to prioritize their investments. Significant progress has been made in developing roadways in Northeastern region during the last couple of years. The committee hopes that this merger of schemes will provide the necessary incentive for constructing roads in the unserved regions, hence stimulating economic growth in these areas. And joining us on the program is a very special guest, Mr. Brijlal, Chairman of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Home Affairs. Sir, welcome to Sansad TV and thank you so much for joining us. And before I get into specifics, let's begin talking about the key recommendations of your committee in respect of development of Northeast region.
Thank you. The department-related outstanding committee on home affairs is serviced by Raj Sabha Secretariat as per the third schedule of the rules of procedure and conduct of business in the Council of States, that is Raj Sabha. The Committee on Home Affairs has Ministry of Home Affairs and the Ministry of Development of North Eastern Region under its jurisdiction. This year, the Ministry of Development North Eastern Region has been allocated a total of rupees 5,892 crores for the financial year of 2023-24. Besides this, it is about 50 ministries. They have to spend 10% of their budgetary allocation compulsorily for the development of northeastern region. Considering this, our committee has mainly given 8 recommendations regarding development of northeastern region. I can say about one by one, then we may like
Yes,
to
sir.
discuss. The first recommendation, the committee observes that Prime Minister Development Initiative for Northeastern Region program would create infrastructure, support industries, social development projects, and livelihood activities for youth and women, creating income and jobs, and therefore the committee had recommended that ministry may have a mechanism to closely coordinate with the Northeastern Council to monitor the pace and pattern of fund utilization of the various projects under the program to prevent cost and time overruns. That is, the Northeastern countries which monitors, which coordinates with the centers. So we have recommended that the project should be completed in time, so that this should not be cost. It may go up and the time overruns. So this is our first recommendation, and this northeastern region has a potential for agriculture, horticulture, handicraft, all these things. So there is a NERAMAC. NERAMAC is Northeastern Region Agriculture Marketing Corporation. So the NERAMAC conducts various initiatives for development agriculture, horticulture sector in northeastern region, such as branding of project, GI tagging of the authentic products, developing farmers cluster supply of planting material and equipment to the farmers, capacity building and skill amongst the farmers. So the committee is of the considered view there's various infrastructure facilities related to agriculture and allied services need to be scaled up in northeastern region. This will promote agri-horti products, allowing them to reach to their full potential. You know, this is we call organic carbon. In UP, in Bihar, the organic viable carbon is hardly 0.3%, 2-3%, 0.23% in the soil. But in northeastern region, the organic carbon is more than 2%. So we have a potential for organic farming. So the committee has recommended this, that the agriculture and horticulture products should be encouraged, and this will be totally organic, and there are a lot of demand of organic products not only in India but outside India. So if that is promoted, then the farmers of that region will be benefited. Our second recommendation, third rather, the Northeastern Handicrafts and Handloom Development Corporation, we call it NEHSDC, was established with the mandate to promote and develop handicrafts and handloom of the northeastern region and provide the needed marketing support to the artisans and weavers of the region. In order to address the challenges faced by NEHSDC, the committee has recommended that social media platform for advertisement. Social media platforms should be used effectively to promote handmade products and showcase NER unique art and crafts. This would help the cause of Make in India scheme, which has strongly advocated for manufacturing goods and services in India rather than sourcing them from outside. We have recently visited, in December we have visited, our committee had visited in the Northeast region. We have seen there the fiber derived from lotus stem.
Yes.
And from the lotus stem, they are creating a lot of this cloth, and that is very costly. And the water hyacinth, that is creating havoc in not only in India but other Southeast Asian countries. But in Assam, we saw them that they are using this water hyacinth stems for making so many handicrafts. So there is a lot of potential. So we have recommended that the social media should be used so that their handicraft product should be advertised, and that should go to the other part of the country and abroad also.
Absolutely, sir.
Then fourth, most of the central sector scheme related to agriculture are implemented by Department of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare, including Agriculture Infrastructure Fund Mission, Organic Value Chain Development for Northeastern Region, to develop agriculture and farmer welfare in NAR, for promoting the various schemes under this initiative. Our committee has recommended the Ministry of Donor should make effort to increase the outreach of scheme like Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, etc. in the northeastern region. There are so many schemes for agriculture, so many schemes, central schemes. So that should reach to the lower level, grassroots level of the farmer, so that they can be benefited by central sponsored schemes.
Absolutely, sir. Those were the key recommendations of your committee. But talking about a very, very crucial aspect, sir. Sir, besides, of course, being in the political arena, before embarking on your political journey, you were into police services. You were also posted in the Northeast in 1984. Sir, when you look at things today, do you think that there's a new chapter? This is the new era of peace and stability in the Northeast?
Definitely, yes. I had been posted in Assam. I went there in January 1984 at North Lakhimpur district. This is bordering Arunachal Pradesh. I was then young commanding officer and commanding a PSC battalion of Uttar Pradesh. I was there for 5 months, and then I shifted to the lower Assam, Nalbari, Barpeta, New Bagaingaon. Beside my battalion, we had 3 more battalions of UPPSC and other forces of the country, like Rajasthan Armed Constabulary, Madhya Pradesh Police, Maharashtra Police, all the forces, besides central forces like BSF, CRP, they were deployed in the Assam. Their police were disarmed. There was chaos in the state. But now there is a peace and tranquility. I know, unless there is a peace and tranquility in the country, in the state, in the society, we can't think of development. Now, with the central government's initiative, there is a peace and tranquility, not only in Assam, but the whole of the northeastern region, through dialogue, so taking initiative from the northeastern region people. Oh, there is a now peace and tranquility. That's why the development is going on very fast.
Right, sir. And since you also mentioned about infrastructure, about connectivity in your report, so what has transformed on the ground? Because the committee, I know, has been visiting the northeastern areas. You've been visiting the areas as a chairman. What has actually transformed on the ground there?
You know, when I went in Assam in 84, there was only one bridge over Brahmaputra. Now, under Modi government, several bridges have been formed. So the connectivity, which was difficult at that time, it has increased. One problem for the road connectivity is that there is a dry region only for 3-4 months, otherwise there is a rain. So there is some problem, but besides that problem, the connectivity has increased, and the most important recommendation in the connectivity,
yes, sir,
that is our 8th recommendation. We have, the committee has inquired from the ministry about the status of Kaladan multi-modal transit transport. This is this connectivity is in 2 parts. One is waterways connectivity and then roadways connectivity. The committee recommended that the Ministry of Donor may take up with the Ministry of External Affairs to complete the Agartala Akhauda rail link project within time frame. The committee also recommended to execute road component of Kalar model transport in a time-bound manner. When this is completed, the northeast region will have connectivity with Myanmar. So we would have a road connectivity, we would have a water connectivity, so that this entire region will be connected to the ports and by road, so the development definitely will increase.
Absolutely, sir. And what about the tourism potential?
Yes. You mean tourism?
Yes, sir.
The time has changed and that the people were going to see the old buildings, all that. Now there is a ecotourism. And for that thing, the northeastern region has a lot of potential. Most of the area is covered of forest, virgin forest. So many communities, so many culture, so many festivals are organized in Northeast. But till now that was not used by the Ministry of Tourism to promote. But now we are promoting it. We are connecting several places with air facilities, making some small airports for smart plane. So the northeastern region has a lot of potential, whether it is Assam, or it is your Arunachal Pradesh, then tribal area of Manipur, Tripura, Nagaland, everything. There is a lot of lush green forest. There is a total, you won't find any pollution in that area. So the people are now interested to go to this area, the virgin area, to see the natural beauty. Hill, beauty, forest, fauna and flora. Everything is available in northeastern region. It has a lot of potential and definitely will increase, and these people will be benefited by the ecotourism.
Absolutely, sir. Before I end this conversation, sir, so what are the key recommendations that you'd like the ministry to implement?
Is one recommendation, that is the committee has recommended, there is a unique rice. We call it Boka Saul rice, and that rice is produced in the lower part of Assam. And you'll be surprised to know that that rice doesn't need cooking. If you soak it in hot water, it will be ready for consumption within 15 minutes. And if it is a cold water, then it is about an hour. So this rice is already supplied in defense. For our forces who are deployed in a difficult region, in a sensitive region, and that may be useful for in disaster management also. When disasters take place, everything is disrupted. So that rice, so we had recommended that is Boka Saul rice of Assam. It is a special condition may be given and efforts may be made to commercialize this special variety of rice and blosters is reached beyond the state of Assam. This has a lot of potentials. Then our recommendation is a bamboo. Lot of bamboo in the northeastern region. The Modi government in 2017, they had made an amendment in the Forest Act 1927. Previously, bamboo was treated as a tree, so it was difficult to harvest it. Now, bamboo is not covered in the category of tree after the amendment made to the Forest Act, and there is no provision on growing or cutting bamboo even outside the forest area. Considering the abundance of bamboo, the northeastern region has the viability of bamboo for commercial purpose. The committee recommended that the ministry may facilitate carrying out outreach activities in collaboration in various organizations well versed in the subject, like Indian Plywood Industries Research and Training situated in the Bangalore. From bamboo we are making furniture. From bamboo we are making tiles. so many products. It can be made for plywood.
Right.
So we have recommended that the bamboo should be harvested and that should be used for furnitures, all that, and they should take the advice of IPRITI, that is your plywood, Indian Plywood Industry Research and Training Institute, which is at Bangalore, and that their unit site could be established there for the maximum utilization of bamboo and bamboo products.
Absolutely.
Then one more thing is food processing. As I told you that the organic carbon is more than 2% in the northeastern region soil. And already Sikkim has got totally organic. Their product is not only used in India but outside India, exported as total organic products. Lot of demand outside India.
Yes.
So food processing has a very important reason. The Ministry of Food Processing is implementing the central sector umbrella scheme
Yes, sir.
called Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana for inter alia creation of modern infrastructure efficient supply chain for facilitating food preservation, processing across the country, including NER, keeping in the view the difficult terrain and material supply constraints NER and the difficulties faced by farmers in preservation of the perishable products.
Right.
The committee recommended that the Ministry of Donor may take up the matter with the Ministry of Food Processing Industries for building up more cold chain storage facilities in the northeastern states with an efficient transport infrastructure support system which may boost the supply of product of agriculture and allied sector into the market.
Right, sir. So, of course, these are the key recommendations and the observations made by your committee. But I'm completely out of time. And thank you so much for sharing your perspective, your thought, and of course, the important observations of the committee. I'm sure this will go in a long way in developing the Northeast further. Thank you so much for joining us, Brijlalji. Well, viewers, that's all I could pack for you in this edition. Thanks for watching and stay tuned to Sunset TV. Goodbye for now from my side.